As I remember it, she came over and said, gee, honey, if we ever make it, could we collect art? And like any good husband, I go, of course, honey, and go right back to working. About 2 years later, she said, do you remember my asking you if we could collect art if we make it? And I smiled and I said, actually, I do remember. Should we start? And I said, yeah, we'll start this weekend.
I'm Robert Simon, and I'm an art historian and art dealer and art consultant.
I'm Terry Wall, and my wife Carol and I put this collection together with Bob's help over, I don't know, how many years, 20?
The taste and choice of the painting is entirely Carol and Terry's. My job, you could say, in this sort of partnership of things is to make sure, first, examine it for condition, of course, is a critical issue. Interpreting also the degree of passion that they had for it.
I think we met first on the steps of the Met.
We arranged to meet at the Metropolitan Museum. And where should we meet? I think we were going to meet at Madame X, the great Sargent portrait. And as luck would have it, that area of the museum was closed. On the stairway, we were going in opposite directions and kind of, are you? And that's how it began. When presented with good, better, and best, they understood best right away. This first couple of paintings that they were really very distinguished, and they're now to be seen in Montclair. The first one was a John White Alexander. There was a William Merritt Chase, which went on to be one of the core artists in the collection. So those were the first pictures, and that really, I think, framed the nature of the collection going forth.
Certainly, Sargent, Chase, Hassan out of this collection are sort of my three personal favorites. And there's something about Chase, his beautiful wife in some of the paintings, and his children. My wife, Carol Vance Wall, there's a photo of her when she was about 18. I mean, a dead ringer for Lady L. And that was really the inspiration on that particular one to buy that painting, because I had seen this picture of Carol at her parents' house. Of all the shows that we've loaned paintings to, this one was it Ferrara, Italy?
Yeah, there was an exhibition called Sargent in Italy, and it was in Ferrara, of Sargent and his Italian subjects, of which the view of Santa Stai of Venice, one of his masterpieces, and that was lent to the exhibition, and it was a wonderful, wonderful show. The picture was a star there.
Yeah, it was that. When you first walked in, I don't know if it was the first or second picture you saw, but was that the Capri one, or was it?
I think that both Rosina Capri was there. This was a little out of the ordinary because an American painter with Italian subjects, and it was a hugely popular exhibition. And
it was really the first time, in my experience, that I got a chance to hear somebody else who was really better educated. I mean, we loved the painting, but we loved it for how beautiful it was, and it was just a breathtaking painting. And a number of museums in Europe, if you said what was our most requested painting from Europe, I would say probably the Church at St. Cy was.
But I mean, I think it's one of the testaments to the collection that it's a collection of agreement, and it's a collection of a joint taste.
It was really one of the great experiences, I think, in my life of collecting art. I would never, without Carol, even cross my mind to be an art collector. But once I got into it, the people we met, the places we went, chasing down where they painted them.
as a professional, this has been a friendship that's been so long-standing and deep and beyond the collecting part of it. In working with Carol and Terry in creating this collection, it's given me this amazing satisfaction in looking at the individual works, and then when put together, it tells a much bigger story.
To go into not only some of the great museums in the world and see your paintings hanging there, and people's reactions to them, and our own reactions to them. But I got to cities that I would have never sought out on my own. I think it's so individual how each person reacts to a particular painting or a collection of paintings. Our collection, I don't think, would be the same or as much fun putting together if we hadn't become such good friends with Bob. It was just a really, there wasn't anything about collecting art that didn't make me smile and reflect on it. It was a really great time in our life, and it's too bad Carol isn't here to be a part of this, because she played a very key role.